This place is absolutely gorgeous.
Hi, we're Deb and Phil from Creatives en Route, two budget travelers who love exploring our home country in our converted SUV camper and taking a few international trips along the way. Join us today as we explore our 48th state of Minnesota and all the beauty that the North Shore has to offer. Subscribe to our channel to follow along on our journey as we help make travel more accessible.
Hit the road.
Well, we got a later start than we expected to this morning, and we have a very long drive today of like 13 hours. So we're already expecting to roll into the campground pretty late tonight, which is not our ideal. We usually like to get to a campground when it's still light outside so we can easily set up everything and see where our site is and stuff, get a lay of the land, and also because obviously there are other people camping there, but sometimes things happen and that is the way it goes. I just got rickrolled. Never gonna give you up played the entire time that I was in there from start to finish.
Welcome to Chicago.
We were just here. Where are we, Phil?
Boo! We're in Chicago. We're in downtown Chicago. But here in Chicago, we're in Chicago. That's Chicago. Yeah, downtown Chicago. In Chicago. But Chicago is the airport in Chicago. So on our way to Minnesota, we're going through Chicago and had to stop for some coffee.
Yeah, lots of good options, but we found Nomad and it was perfect. Easy to park out here and super cute little storefront and shop. So we got some peanut butter chocolate salted peanut butter and chocolate mochas.
Oh yeah, so excited.
Mm-hmm. Why? Oh my gosh.
You want to explain?
Well, the system was like glitching.
Wait, hang on. Where are we right now?
We're at Luminati's again in Chicago, which we loved when we came here a month ago. And we're just splitting a personal pan pizza or personal deep dish pizza. And I accidentally apparently added triple pepperoni to it because the system was glitching when I went to order it. I just realized it when we pulled in the parking lot. And so now we are here with this super pepperoni tiny deep dish pizza. Despite accidentally ordering double extra pepperoni on a pepperoni pizza, it was delicious. And the woman gave us the like hot pepper relish with it, which is the original extra topping I was meaning to get, and it was so good. Luminati's knocks it out of the park. It is almost midnight. Only 30 minutes left. How are you feeling, Phil?
Tired, but good. I'm excited to get to camp tonight and get to crawl in the back and sleep. Good morning. We are in our 48th state of Minnesota. We pulled in super late last night, and now it's time for coffee. So today we're trying to make a plan for what all we're going to do, probably spending a lot of the day in Duluth.
Yeah. So we're going to basically do some research this morning and then hit the road.
Yeah, there's a few different things that we've seen already that we're probably going to plan on. There's a nature reserve and there's a lighthouse, both kind of on the North Shore. So we're kind of thinking about doing that this morning.
I'm excited. I think it'll be fun.
Yeah.
You know, it's going to be good when they spell house the German way.
First things first, of course, we made a plan for lunch at Northern Waters Smokehouse, a delicious deli-style restaurant that offered tons of smoked salmon sandwiches, loaded with all kinds of toppings, and they even served lots of fresh fish and other cheeses right there in the restaurant that you could buy and take home. Then we walked around the shops that were located in the same building as Northern Waters, and Phil even found some weird bird-themed murder novels, which I guess is a very niche genre. Afterward, we took a look at the Duluth Aerial Bridge, which is a really interesting vertical lift bridge that allows boats to pass underneath. After that, we walked down to the breakwater and soaked up the views of the lighthouse right on the water in downtown Duluth. Then we walked over to the historic Canal Park and took a look at several of the shops that are Nordic themed, which pays homage to a lot of Duluth's Nordic roots. And we saw a glass blowing demonstration that was super cool. After that, it was time to head up to Hawks Ridge to see if we could scout out any raptors in the area. Unfortunately, we didn't see any hawks, but we did get some gorgeous panoramic views.
We are driving to the North Shore, or driving along the North Shore on the scenic highway, and it's so beautiful. There's so many like super cool public pull-offs. It is honestly just perfect, and the fog is so incredibly thick for a super sunny day. It's just wild. It's blowing our minds because it's 2:30. That feels like a morning thing, but not on the North Shore apparently.
So, as we're driving down scenic Highway 61 along the North Shore, we passed a malt shop. So we have to go because Devin loves malt. So how can you not?
Phil does love me after all.
We continued up Highway 61, and right along the coast there's Gooseberry Falls. It's really a great free spot to go and see these beautiful waterfalls. It's actually a section of 3 different falls, and it's nice because you can get down in the water and play, and there were a bunch of families out just enjoying this beautiful day. It's a good way to spend some time right along the coast. After that, we headed over to Split Rock to see the lighthouse. It was a little foggy, and we actually ended up seeing it from a different pull-off along the way because it did cost a little money to go see it, but still a beautiful lighthouse right along the coast. We are here in Enger Park in Duluth, Minnesota.
Yes, we think that's how it's pronounced, but if it's not, please let us know in the comments. Feel free to correct us.
Yeah, we caught up with a friend of ours from college who mentioned that we should come here, and he was definitely right.
Yeah, it is this beautiful. We are not sure what that was.
Hopefully it's not behind us.
It is. Hopefully it doesn't attack us and you'll see another video from us in the future. Anyway, Enger Park has this beautiful, like 6-story, I think, tower that you can climb up and get gorgeous panoramic views into Duluth and Wisconsin, views of the lake. It's really pretty.
Yeah, it's really gorgeous, and it's nestled in this Japanese garden as well, which has been really cool to walk around the grounds. There's lots of different places to sit and some like art installations to see too.
Yeah, so super peaceful, just kind of right above the city, gorgeous views, and it's free. So perfect thing to do if you're in the Duluth area. That was so funny. When I went to ring the bell, which people have been doing kind of on and off as we've been in the park. When I went to ring the bell, this little girl was coming up behind me, which I didn't realize. And apparently her parents had told her that she could only ring it one time, because as soon as I rang the bell, she like immediately like frantically turned around to face her parents and was like, "It was not me." And then they let her proceed to go ring it. So I thought it was hilarious.
Staying along the shore, we went over to the shopping district and stopped at a place called Fitger's. There's a whole bunch of markets and things inside, including this delicious coffee shop, which was a great afternoon pick-me-up. The nice thing about this place is that it's right along the water as well, and it gives you access to stairs leading down where you can go and just sit right along the water. There are a bunch of people out biking and walking. It's a really good path if you want to explore this area. From there, we stayed on the water and wanted to go across the aerial bridge over to this really long peninsula that leads to a park at the end of it. It's a beautiful area, honestly, just to drive through, but there's lots of things to see along the way. At the park, there's lots of wildlife, including ducks, and we actually saw a bald eagle fly over, which was super cool. There's a little sailboat training facility, which was really neat to see some sailboaters out on the water as well. Afterward, it was back to Duluth for Burger Paradox, which had a menu we couldn't resist. Yesterday we spent the day in Duluth, and it's been really, really great. And we ended up going to this really delicious restaurant called Burger Paradox, and it had probably the best buffalo cauliflower I've ever had. The burgers were so good, and they serve malts. And apparently malts are a thing here. But yeah, we got a strawberry rhubarb malt, and it was so good. Like, the whole dinner was just perfection. So we're planning to go back into Duluth again today. We needed to get some work done, and so we're going to go over to a coffee shop that we found called Duluth Coffee Company. Planning to just spend some time there, working on our computers and getting some things done.
Yesterday we just spent an awesome day, like kind of around downtown Duluth. before checking into our campground, which was an experience.
To say the least.
So we are last minute planners, and sometimes that can create a bit of an issue when we are checking or when we're booking campsites, because usually there are tons of tent sites available, but sometimes you get into a situation where you're in a really popular area and on the weekends it's just booked up. So we ended up finding a campsite at a local ski resort, and it was a great price and stuff. We got there last night, and the property itself was absolutely gorgeous. It was just stunning. However, there was no signage whatsoever, and there were no maps. And so we spent like 30 minutes driving around trying to find our campsite. We eventually had to go back to the office. They didn't really know where our campsite was, so then we had to drive around a second time trying to find it. It ended up working out. We're staying there again tonight, so we'll see if we have any stories for tomorrow. But right now we are headed up the North Shore again. We thought that this drive down Historic 61, the North Shore Highway, it's absolutely stunning. And so we wanted to drive it again. We wanted to go check out the Black Sand Beach in Silver Bay. And so we will take you along with us for the ride. This place is absolutely gorgeous. I am honestly shocked that it wasn't like the #1 thing to do in this area. It is Black Beach at Silver Bay, and it is a black sand beach just made up of black rock, and the sights are absolutely gorgeous. All of these huge rock faces. If you were in the North Shore area, you have to come to Black Beach. This is my favorite thing so far.
Well, that wraps up our time in our 48th state of Minnesota. If you get the chance, you have to come to the North Shore. It's incredible. Honestly, we already can't wait to come back.
Last night, a friend from college who lives in Duluth. There are all the noises right now. Very tiny.
That wasn't very funny, Devin.
Just giving you a little kiss.
Too slow.